All right. I've been really tired, but at the same time, I've just been itching for some Ace Attorney. But I did record a lot of Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney, enough to either last between 2 and 4 days, depending on if I want to put 2 parts up a day or 1 part up a day. So yeah, but as you can see right here, I got this as a comment, and whenever I clicked it, I gotta just say thank you, Javier. Because I didn't know about this. I don't even know if anyone really knows about this. And yeah, whenever I click this link, let me just move my. Well, let me just. First, let me just. Give me 1 sec. Hey, look, my recording program. Okay, now let's just move to there. And, oh, look, I'm on an Ace Attorney online page. Let me just X that out. Yes, this is an Ace Attorney online game, and, what this is all about, pretty much you got the play, you got the home screen, which is this, the forums, and how to create your own custom Ace Attorney online trial, and the credits for this. And if you go to, I believe, play, let's see. There we go. I'll move myself over here for the time being. And as you can tell, you have a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but you have quite a few different trials that I could play if I wanted to. And yeah, there's quite a bit of trials. I mean, it's not as many as, like, say, Super Mario World hacks, but it's a good way to play some different trials that people thought up of, and if you want to create your own, here's a how-to. So, I actually loaded up this, and before I begin, it takes a little bit, so that's why you gotta load stuff. It took less time to load because I already had it done, but I'll just X that out and go to the one that I already had loaded up. And this is Turnabout Escort Trial Former by Admiral Canuck. And I got this all set up already, so I'm like this. There's the game. Here's the bottom screen. And then if I want to go to the court record, there's the court record. And also I got an extra thing in case there's more than just this. But whenever that happens, I will put it up. So yeah, I might actually may need to make this bigger if I get more than this piece of evidence, because it feels like this might go down actually. So yeah. And then we also have profiles where we got Apollo, Trucy, see how it went down whenever it was a bigger description, so I might need to edit that a little bit. And hopefully the sound's on. I just turned the sound on, so now let's get right to it. So, quite the meeting today, was it not? Simply smashing, I must say. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to get going. I have quite a long walk, and it's cold out here. Mr. Morir, why don't you take my car? My driver would be happy, and I probably shouldn't read this because it's automatic for the time being. As you can see. In some ways, fate is like our chauffeur, our driver, guiding us unquestioningly through our lives and to our deaths. Ow, my ears! That was definitely a loud sound effect. Oh, also, by the way, I didn't point this out, but this is our life bar that is going to be throughout our case. Whenever something appears to hurt our life bar, this will start to go off, so yeah. Trial time. Boy, am I nervous. My first real case in months, and I get almost no notice beforehand. Why can't things go my way for once? Cheer up, Apollo. Look at today as a learning experience. I have no problem with learning. It's just getting schooled that I don't like. I should actually... I'm gonna turn that down. Yeah, let's just leave it down there because I don't know how loud this is, and whenever I record on my computer, it makes a lot more noise. So, my name is Apollo Justice. In case you were wondering, I'm a defense attorney. A defense lawyer, a defense attorney. This is only my 5th major trial, so I'm somewhat inexperienced. But I've learned to go into every case with the same goal. Finding the truth. Wasn't Mr. Wright supposed to be here today, Trucy? Oh, you mean Daddy? He said he was busy writing his exam today. Ah, that's right. The girl in front of me is Trucy Wright, who sort of helps me as my assistant during cases. Trucy's father, Phoenix Wright, actually used to be a legendary defense attorney. But almost 8 years ago, he was disbarred when he presented a forged piece of evidence. It wasn't his fault, of course. The real man behind the forgery was recently discovered. So this pretty much took place after Apollo Justice, the Apollo Justice game. So yeah, but not canon. Just remember, this is a custom story. This is not canon. Now, Phoenix Wright has been reinstated as a lawyer. Now, we'll talk about some spoilers, so at least it might. I don't know, because if it's talking about reinstating, yeah. Provided he passes the bar admission program once again. Lost in thought again, Apollo? Oh, no, I was just... never mind. Damon Gant! I do hope, so hope, I'm not interrupting anything, Apollo, my boy. It's him! It's actually him! It's Damon Gant! Who is this guy, Apollo? I don't recognize him. Well, it's Damon Gant. It's the guy that runs the police department, right? This is Escort Dugali. He's a very well-known politician in this city. Okay, so... you're not gonna... if you're going to do a custom story, there's more than likely a chance that you can't do art, and I don't know if you can even do art for these. So you're gonna be reusing characters, obviously. And Damon Gant is going to be Escort Dugali. So, funny how a guy that's in power in the police department also has the same face as a guy that's a politician in the city. Don't you ever watch TV? Only magic shows. Anywho, my boy, I'm sorry you only knew of this matter since last night. Why does he keep calling me boy? I hate being talked down to and being called a kid and boy and jeez. Recently I was told again that I looked like I was in high school. Things have been a tad confused at the City Hall as of late. But I must thank you ever so much for taking my case. Or rather, my chauffeur's case. No problem at all, sir. Dear old Matthias wouldn't hurt a fly. You must understand this. But it is simply terrible to think of what has happened. Also, as you can tell, unlike the regular game, if the music ends, it'll start back up, so, yeah. My dear friend and colleague, dead! And if I hadn't offered him a ride home in my limousine, none of this would have happened. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so very much for your kindness, m'lady. Wait! So I'm a boy, but she's a lady? What? Pray tell, and what is it you do? Your clothes, if I may, are quite garish. Are you an entertainer? Well, I don't know if you'd call me an entertainer. But I certainly am. Oh, so very amusing. I've seen it 500 times by now, and I still don't quite find it amusing. Is Matthias here right now, Mr. Dugale? I'm afraid not, my boy. What is with Damon Gant and his stares? I'm afraid not, my boy. What was that look just now? Exactly! I don't even think Phoenix ever points it out in the game or whatever. But rest assured, it is an innocent man you are defending today. I would not have hired you for this case unless I had every confidence in Matthias. I'll do my best, sir. Hey, Apollo, it looks like the trial's starting. All right, Trucy, I'm coming. My first trial in months, and I haven't even met the defendant. Cords of steel, don't fail me now. Here comes justice. Yeah, I literally went to, like, take a nap that lasted from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's how tired I was today, and I had to take a hot shower and rest a little more, and it's now 4:24 in the morning, and I really didn't feel like playing Pokemon or something else, so... And I felt like showing this off a little bit, so I'll probably have it in the description, of course, if you want to try anything out on the site. So, yeah. Now let's see. Court is now in session for the trial of Matthias Thomas. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Also, if the background goes black, you gotta remember, this is a custom thing. So if any glitches happen, such as the dialogue going ahead of before I even press this, yeah. The defense is, ready, Your Honor. What have I got myself into? Mr. Justice, it's been quite a while since I've seen you in my courtroom. Are you quite sure you're still up to this? No problem, Your Honor. I'm fine, really. Perhaps our young defense attorney should have prepared a little more for this case. For someone who loses cases all the time, he's pretty confident today. Come on, Apollo. You can't let him rattle you. The prosecution will refrain from mocking the defense. Would you please give us your opening statement, Mr. Payne? With pleasure, Your Honor. The victim was a well-known member of the city council. The defendant, as a private chauffeur, was driving the victim home after a day at City Hall. While he was driving him, the defendant shot the victim. Shot him dead! Did you have to reiterate that? The prosecution has decisive evidence to prove this is the truth.
Very well. Would you mind giving us a brief overview of the case, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, not at all, Your Honor.
What was that all about?
On the night of April 2nd, Police HQ received an anonymous tip from a concerned citizen. The caller reported suspicious activity inside a vehicle at the street. A limousine, to be exact. A location and license plate number were given, and the police tracked the vehicle to a parking lot. In it, they found the body, alone, with the defendant in the driver's seat. Perfect. Incidentally, the victim died of a bullet to the right temple. As per the autopsy report, yes, the right temple.
The court accepts this as evidence.
Autopsy report added to the court record. Okay, the autopsy report for the victim. Touch the check button for details. Okay. Let me just add this real quick. There we go. There we go. Perfect, right? Alright, so... Victim's name, Elvor, age 48, male. Estimated time of death, April 2nd, between 7:30 and 7:45. Cause of death, single bullet to the right temple. Alright. And... yeah, there we go. Cool. I should also probably mention that the investigators are sure that the victim died in the vehicle. The body was not moved from anywhere else.
Did the investigators manage to find the murder weapon, Mr. Payne?
After some searching, they found the offending pistol under the back seat of the vehicle. It's fairly standard killing machine. Nothing special about it. Well, except for one thing. Matthew Thomas's fingerprints are all over it! Well, just like always, we got some evidence that just hurts us. This is getting worse by the minute! Did you notice Mr. Payne was actually pretty cool for a second there? Trucy! Shut up! Actually, yeah. It's so out of character for him. Yeah, that is actually out of character. Unless of, well, not in a couple games. Like, wasn't Trials and Tribulations, whenever he was younger, he tried acting cooler, whatever, but yeah.
The court accepts the murder weapon into evidence.
Pistol added to the court record. And what do we have here? The murder weapon, a single shot pistol bears the defendant's fingerprints. Touch the check button to check for details. Rifling marks on the bullet found in the victim's head match the pistol. An investigation concluded that the weapon was fired approximately 3 meters away from the target. Alright, cool.
Was there no other evidence found in the vehicle, Mr. Payne?
A car key to the vehicle was found inside, as well as a few assorted business papers.
A card key to a vehicle? Whatever happened to the old metal kind?
These kind of keys are meant for extra security. They operate somewhat like a credit card.
Very well. Anything else to add?
There was not much other than that, I'm afraid. However, we do have the specifications of the vehicle in question. Okay. So, we got the limousine data, information regarding Mr. Dugal's limousine. Touch the check button for details. Carson Special XL Limousine, color white, license plate number T1K R2J. License plate is situated on the front of the vehicle, requires card keys to enter the vehicle, entrusted only to the owner and the chauffeur. The vehicle is approximately 3 years old and has minimal wear and tear. The vehicle measures 10 meters by 3 meters and conforms to manufacturer's standards. Licensed chauffeurs for this type of vehicle are trained not to allow anyone enter without bearing a card key. Alright. Text that out and continue.
Well, what did the defendant have to say for himself when he was arrested?
The defendant refused to speak about what happened actually. It's as good as a confession.
We seem to have a very clear-cut scenario in front of us. Could there be any room for doubt in this case?
I think not, Your Honor.
Objection! We haven't explored every possibility yet!
What other possibilities are there to explore? Unless you know of someone who could give us new insight on the case, this trial is over.
I'm afraid I have to agree with the prosecution on this one, Mr. Justice. And I'm sure the jurists would agree as well. Do you know of anyone who could shed some light on the foggier aspects of this case? Absolutely, Your Honor.
What?
This whole time, we've been hearing about what the police found. But we ignored how these things came to be there in the first place. Why exactly was Matthias Thomas driving Livermore's home? We have yet to find this out. And as you can tell, there's that light bar that I was talking about. And I know exactly who can tell us! I would guess Asterisk, because Asterisk's the only one that seems to be a witness. I mean, what? Can Apollo Justice tell ya? Or Trucy? Maybe Winston Payne. Phoenix, ew. Like, seriously, these are my choices. What? Who do you think would be here that you could say? Probably Asterisk, right? So, take that! Why, Asterisk Dugal, of course! The very owner of the limousine, of our limousine crime scene! Is that supposed to be rhyming? Ah! Mr. Dugal is Matthias Thomas's employer, and he witnessed the defendant and the victim right before the murder. We need to hear his testimony.
This is trivial, Your Honor. The defense is grasping at straws. It is an open and shut case.
Objection overruled. We need to examine every possible angle of this case before I declare a verdict. And Mr. Justice's request for testimony is a reasonable one.
That was objectionable! At you, Your Honor! That's just not fair!
Overruled. Penalty for the prosecution. In the future, Mr. Payne, try to find a more legitimate objection. Eck! Ha! My bar is bigger than yours, probably. Yes! Score 1 for the home team.
You've got him on the ropes now.
Would Mr. Asterisk Dougal please take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession for the court?
Doesn't that seem a little pointless to anyone?
What do you mean?
Wow, he's in dangerous territory now. Well, I was sitting in that gallery, and I couldn't help but notice that you've already stated my name. And so has Mr. Justice, for that matter. Indeed, it seems that even a third grader could deduce my name by following the trial thus far. Wow, someone is really into himself. I will point that out. And since I am so well known at City Hall, is it not outlandish to think that if one knows my name, will you shut up? One could certainly deduce my profession.
The judge is like, I am at a loss for words.
His name is Asterisk Dougal, and he's the city council member, Your Honor. He's a city council member.
That was what I just explained, dear prosecutor. You really need to think sharper, like dear Apollo here.
No. Please, don't bring me into this stupidity. Yes, young Apollo. I couldn't have entrusted Matthias's case to a finer lad. What? You're in the defense's camp? That means you're unfit to testify. Dear prosecutor, are you insinuating that I would compromise justice with my testimony? That I would deliver false testimony in a court of law? I, Asterisk Dougal? Because if that is what you are doing, I may have to adjust a few salaries on next year's budget. The prosecution withdraws its objection. I kind of feel bad for Mr. Payne now. Yeah, that was it reminds me of poor freaking Gumshoe. Yeah, that was a little harsh.
Witness, the victim was murdered in your vehicle. Clarify for us how he became to be there.
It would be my pleasure, Your Honor. Events leading to the crime. Mr. Morer and I were meeting until 7:15 p.m. When we finally finished, we were both naturally very tired, and Mr. Morer had a long walk home. So I offered to have Matthias drive him. I elected to walk home, since I needed the exercise anyway.
Well, that was a surprisingly succulent testimony. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Your Honor, this gives us no new information. There is nothing to cross-examine.
Objection!
The defense has the right to cross-examine the witness.
Mr. Justice is correct. Please, Mr. Payne, I would like to get this trial finished sometime this century. objecting to every little thing.
Oh! All right, Apollo. Time to show them what you're made of.